Albert stepping up. Bang!
It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Gatorade is the #1 proven electrolyte blend designed to hydrate better than water. So you can lose more sweat and raise your game. Gatorade, is it in you?
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contracts. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Welcome back to Rams Up, your favorite LA Rams podcast. We are part of the Fans First Sports Network, and you can follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/@RamsUpPodcast. I'm your host, Mark. I'll be joined often by my football guru, Ian, along with a bunch of other friends of the show on occasion. Let's get to it. Welcome back, everybody. Continuing my countdown of the 50 greatest Rams ever, the 2025 version. I've done this before, and I will do it again. This is how I racked and stacked them at this point in time. Now, I've already done 3 of these, so I've already gone through 21 through 50. I encourage you to go back and check those out. Today, I will be going 11 through 20. Countdown to the 11th greatest Ram ever. And just a reminder, this is a really difficult task, and I try to weigh things fairly. You know, the guys from the 50s, I know, probably don't measure up against the Jalen Ramseys and the Cooper Kupps of the modern era, but you still got to, give them credit for what they accomplished during their era. They were great players during their era, and I do lean a little bit towards the more recent players, but I try to be fair across all these different generations of great Ram players, and there are so many. It's really, this is a difficult task. I give it a try, and you'll see what I mean. And I'm sure I've made some mistakes, and I'm sure I'm going to make some corrections by the time I do this again, maybe next summer. We'll see how it goes. So I'll quickly rehash. On the YouTube channel, you can see my 41 through 50. I'm not going to count through every one of them, just some highlights. Jack Snow came in at number 47. That guy had a great yards per catch average, one of the best. And Leonard Little came in at 46. And Jim Everett, the all-time leading, the passing leader in Rams history, was at number 42. And then 31 through 40, I had Leroy Irvin at 31, a great punt returner and a great cornerback as well. Jalen Ramsey, Kevin Green, Doug France, Robert Quinn is in this group. And number 40, one of the greatest draft picks ever by the Rams, Larry Brooks. And by the way, I got Charlie Cowan here at 39, and that reminds me, I give a lot of credit to guys that played at a high level for an extremely long time. And then there's the guys that maybe had very short careers, but were just incredible. You got to weigh everything. And Charlie Cowan is a guy that just played for such a long time at a high level. Never made, all pro or anything like that, but you got to give him credit for his just longevity and playing at a high level during his entire career. And then 21 through 30, Tom Fears, Nolan Cromwell, Dennis Hara, And I have Cooper Kupp in here, one of the few active players on this list. And Lawrence McCutcheon came in at 26. I talked about it recently, the conversation about who is the 5th best running back in Rams history. I actually have McCutcheon above Gurley. Gurley at 29 was certainly in his prime, one of the best running backs in the history of the National Football League, but I gave the nod to McCutcheon, played for a much longer time. Not as flashy as Todd Gurley, that's for sure. And you can take me to task for that, but that's how I had them listed. And hey, feel free to comment away if you think I got stuff wrong here. Now let's get to number 20. Who is the 20th greatest Ram ever? And I have Les Richter there, the 2nd overall pick in the 1952 draft. And, this is a guy that was a 4-time first-team All-Pro and a 3-time second-team All-Pro. And he's in the Hall of Fame. And, old-timers like this, I just can't ignore them. And I understand that, he may not have held up well in today's game, but who knows? During his time, one of the greatest players in the National Football League. And if you're in the Hall of Fame and you played more than a handful of years for our Los Angeles Rams, you're going to be on this list. And that's why I have Les Richter at number 20. At number 19, Henry Ellard. Fresno State wide receiver, played for the Rams for 11 years, 2-time first-team All-Pro. And this is a guy that, again, wasn't as flashy as some of the other great Rams wide receivers, but 1988 NFL receiving yardage leader, 13,777 receiving yards. Only Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt have more. And I would make the argument that if Henry Ellard was on, a team that got to a Super Bowl or two, won a Super Bowl or two, he would be recognized for what he was, a great wide receiver, one of the greatest wide receivers of his generation, Henry Ellard. And he deserves, I think this is a pretty good slot for him. The wide receiver group for the Los Angeles Rams is pretty awesome. Henry Ellard is the 19th overall player in Rams history, and we have some wide receivers left to talk about here. Number 18, another wide receiver, Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch, one of those guys from the golden age of the Los Angeles Rams. Going on a bit of a run of the oldies here, but he was drafted by the Rams with the 5th overall pick in the 1945 draft. Didn't join the Rams until 1949, though. 2-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler, the 1951 Triple Crown winner, and on the NFL 100-year anniversary team in the Hall of Fame as well. And he is 5th on the Rams all-time receiving list. And he did that in a very short period compared to some of these other guys. But Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch, he was a household name back in the golden age of the Los Angeles Rams. Bob Waterfield, Norm Van Brocklin, Tom Fears, man, some great players back then. He is number 18. Who is number 17? Isaiah Robertson, and he was a 10th overall pick in the 1971 draft out of Southern, played his entire 12-year career with the Rams, was the 1971 Defensive Rookie of the Year, 4-time first-team All-Pro, and a 2-time second-team All-Pro. And I would make the argument that Isaiah Robertson is the greatest linebacker in Rams history. When you combine talent and longevity, he's my guy. He was... I played on a bunch of great defenses behind some great defensive linemen, and he just got it done. The complete linebacker for his era, Isaiah Robertson. Not a lot of great linebackers. There are some guys that had short careers for the Rams, relatively short. Jack Reynolds, Hacksaw. And then there's guys like James Laurinaitis. But Isaiah Robertson, the best linebacker in Rams history, he comes in at number 17. Number 16, Eddie Meter, another Hall of Famer. seventh round pick out of Arkansas Tech in 1952, two-time first-team All-Pro, three-time second-team All-Pro, and he was on the 1960s All-Decade team, the all-time Ram leader in interceptions with 46. And Eddie Meter, great player. How does he compare to Jalen Ramsey? Well, I think we all know the answer to that, but let's recognize Eddie Meter for being one of the greatest players of his generation, and that is why he is number 16.
You're tuned into Auto Intelligence, live from Auto Trader, where data, tools, and your preferences sync to make your car shopping smooth.
They're searching inventory.
Oh, yeah.
They find what you need.
They're gonna find it.
You can make a budget for your wallet to help you succeed. Pricing's precise and true.
So true.
It's smarter car shopping.
Ooh.
Just for you.
Oh, it's just for you.
Ooh.
Find your next ride at autotrader.com. Powered by Auto Intelligence.
Brooks Running reminds us that we're all powered by something. Whether it's the me-time energy of a run after a day at the office, the electrifying energy of your first marathon, or the infectious energy of a group run with your friends. No matter what energy powers you, Brooks has gear specifically designed to unleash it. So lace up and let it out. Let's run there. Visit brooksrunning.com today to learn more.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
As a sports fan, I have to confess. Sometimes the game gets kind of boring. That's when I unfold my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 and use multi-window viewing on its large screen. Boring game? I'm checking out my fantasy baseball league at the same time. Score still 1-0? I'm replying to emails in the other window, scoring points with the boss. Semifinals finally getting exciting? I'm buying tickets to the finals and booking my flights. Can your phone do that?
The new Galaxy Z Fold 7. Get yours at Samsung.com.
And who is number 15? Number 15 is Bob Waterfield. Might be our first Cleveland Ram on this list. Made a quite a name for himself outside, off the football field, marrying Hollywood starlet Jane Russell, a fifth-round pick of the Cleveland Rams in 1942. He was an NFL MVP in 1945, three-time first-team All-Pro, and two-time second-team All-Pro. And he was the NFL TD passing leader twice, and on the 1940s All-Decade team. He's an NFL champion. He is in the Hall of Fame, and again, a guy that you just have to have on this list, high on this list, because in his era, one of the, he was a household name in Los Angeles, very famous guy and a great football player. And number 14 is a guy that, was on the same roster as Waterfield. Quite the quarterback controversy. Norm Van Brocklin, selected 37th overall in the 1949 draft. That was in the fourth round. Remember, there weren't very many teams back then. Out of Oregon, three-time second-team All-Pro and six-time Pro Bowler. He's on the 1950s All-Decade team, another NFL champion, and threw for an NFL record at the time, 554 yards in one game. That was on opening night of the 1951 season. So another guy that was extremely famous, made a name for himself with the Eagles as well, but he one of the great quarterbacks. I mean, when you talk about great quarterbacks in Rams history, you got to start with Van Brocklin and Waterfield, and then Warner and Stafford and Roman Gabriel, and then maybe Jim Everett. That's kind of how I would rack and stack them, I think. But I have Van Brocklin and Waterfield back to back here. I just didn't know how to. It was a tough call, but I gave Van Brocklin the call there. Nudging out Bob Waterfield for the number 14 spot. At number 13, the great Torrey Holt, one of the greatest show on turf guys, the 6th overall pick in the 1999 draft out of North Carolina, first team All-Pro and one-time second team All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time NFL receiving yardage leader. In the 2000s, he was probably the best receiver over those 10 years. He's on the all-decade team. He won a Super Bowl as well, finished in the top 10 of receptions, receiving yards, receiving TDs in 5 straight seasons. That was 2003 through 2007. And, Torrey gets dinged because, he was on a great team, right? And, there's 2 ways of looking at it. Did Isaac Bruce make him better? Or do we have to recognize how well he did while he's sharing the ball with another great wide receiver? And I kind of lean towards the latter. He got it done every season he was on the field. He was just incredible and still overlooked as far as the Hall of Fame goes, but he definitely belongs in, and hopefully he'll make it eventually. Torrey Holt, he was just phenomenal. And, what would the greatest show of turf have been without him? I'm not so sure. One of the 5 or 6 critical guys, I think, in that offense. And what a great team. But and we got a couple more to talk about from that team coming up here. Torrey Holt, he is number 13 overall. Number 12, Jackie Slater. And, I talk about guys that played for a long time and played at a high level. Jackie checks both boxes. Big bad Jackie, a 3rd-round pick out of Jackson State in 1976, played 20 years. That's right, 20 years for the LA Rams, playing alongside guys like Dennis Hare and Kent Hill. He was voted the National Football League Players Association's NFC Offensive Lineman of the Year 4 times. That was in 83, 86, 87, and 89. And was the Athletes in Action Bart Starr Award winner after the 1995 season. Played in 259 games for the Rams from 1976 to 1995. Then record for offensive lineman. And he was just a great player. 4-time second-team All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler. And he is, of course, in the Hall of Fame. So, Jackie Slater is a guy that, if he had played 7 or 8 years, he would have been on this list, maybe lower. And if he had played at a lower level for those 20 years, he would still be on this list. He checks both boxes. One of the greatest Rams of all time. I have him coming in at number 12. And the last guy on this video this time around, number 11, another greatest show on turf guy, Kurt Warner. What a great story. We all know about that. The going from a grocery bagger to a Super Bowl MVP, 2-time NFL MVP, 2-time first team All-Pro, 4-time Pro Bowler, led the league in TDs, passing TDs twice, and of course a Super Bowl champion. And, it's hard to assess Kurt Warner sometimes when you figure all these guys that he had to hand the ball off to and to throw the ball to, but he was a great player. He stepped up time and time again and led this team to win and came out of nowhere to do it. And is he the greatest quarterback in Rams history? Let's wait till we get through the rest of this list to decide. But Kurt Warner, that greatest show on turf, has to be the number one guy you think of when you think of the greatest show. I think of Kurt Warner. Was he the most important guy? Maybe not. Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce, Orlando Pace, Torrey Holt, but it all started with Kurt Warner. It really did. And the story of his rise to lead one of the greatest offense in the history of the National Football League. Kurt Warner, man, a very, very special player. He is number 11 on my list. And to rehash these 11 through 20 players, number 11, Kurt Warner, number 12, Jackie Slater, number 13, Torrey Holt, Number 14 and 15, the quarterbacks Norm Van Brocklin and Bob Waterfield. Number 16, Eddie Meter, the Hall of Fame defensive back. Number 17, the greatest linebacker in Rams history, Isaiah Robertson. Number 18, Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch. Number 19, Henry Ellard. And number 20, old-timer Les Richter. We'll be back next episode. The final countdown, number 10 through number 1, the greatest Rams ever.
My cat Freddie loves to be brushed and cuddled. But stirring up his cat allergens meant sneezing and itchy eyes. Then I found Purina One Live Clear. It's cat food that reduced the major allergen and my suffering in as little as 21 days. Now, we feel closer than ever. If you have issues with cat allergens, you really need to try Purina One Live Clear.
Try new Purina One Live Clear today. Purina One, a difference from day one.
That's going to do it for this episode. Remember, you can reach us at ramsuppodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. Till next time, keep the horns up, stay safe, and have fun out there.